bacon, egg, and cheese sourdough loaf of bread. This inclusion loaf has been on my list for so long. I even think it's been on my list before I started making sourdough. That's how long it's been on there, and it's finally time to make it. Tag the creator below who I got this idea from. Theirs looked amazing, and I think this is gonna be amazing for breakfast this week. I made my bacon and eggs yesterday, so I had less to do early this morning. This is 10 eggs. I definitely don't think I'll be using all of them, but I just wanted to be prepared. And then this is 2 packs of the Applegate no sugar added bacon. I just scrambled these up yesterday, put them in the container, and I just cooked these up yesterday, chopped them up, put them in the container. And then here I have some shredded up sharp cheddar cheese. It was freezing last night in Texas, so I whipped this dough up last night, and this was bulk fermenting on my counter overnight. So it was bulk fermenting from about 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock. As you can see, it is perfect, not over fermented. I definitely thought I was gonna wake up this morning and it was gonna be touching the top of my plastic wrap and just be way over fermented, but it was way too cold last night for it to be. Let's get to shaping this baby up and adding the inclusions. I'm going to lightly flour my surface with my handy dandy baby sifter here. Of course, handy dandy baby sifter is not necessary, but as you can see, it makes flouring your surface and your dough so much easier. Now we are going to dump our dough out onto the surface. Now I just lightly flour the top of my dough so that it's a little bit easier to work with. And now for an inclusion loaf, I'm going to shape this out into a very even rectangle. You want it to be even so that your inclusions are evenly distributed in this loaf. All right, we have our nice rectangle dough here. And if you know me, I do not skimp on my inclusions. And this woman who I saw her do this, she didn't skimp either. I was quite nervous for her, but it turned out amazing. So we're not skimping either. I am just going to cover this with cheese first and get it all over my rectangle. I'm going close to the edges, cover as much surface area as possible, and then we're just careful when we roll it up. Let's do bacon next. Definitely could have used more bacon. I'm gonna save some for the next section, but note to self, you could probably do 3 packs of bacon. And now for the scrambled eggs. When chopping them up, I just made sure that they were like smaller bits and not too big. I considered making this a croissant loaf, so a croissant bacon, egg, and cheese loaf, but the way my croissant loaf turned out, I was afraid that this would just fall apart. Because the croissant loaf is like so easy to peel apart and just like a croissant, I was like, I don't know if these inclusions are gonna hold up in it. So while it was a great idea, I decided against it. All right, we are stuffed here with some bacon, egg, and cheese. That is looking so good. Now I'm just going to roll that side over, bring this side over, make a mess a little, pinch the top closed, pinch the bottom closed, pinch all along the side, seal this baby up. And now just put the rest of the bacon on, some more cheese, and some more egg. Oh, my dog just got a piece of scrambled egg. Now we're going to very carefully roll this up, and as we roll it up, pinch the sides closed. Roll it up, pinch the sides closed. Roll it up and pinch those sides closed. Yeah, this is gigantic. I'm gonna flour my banneton here so we can plop this in there. See how easy it is to flour the banneton too with our handy dandy baby sifter. I don't think I'm gonna do any push and pulls with this. We could do a few. Okay. This is stuffed and I am so excited. Look at how big this ball is. Now I'm just going to put this into my banneton. like so. This is gonna be so good. All right, I'm gonna get my plastic wrap, cover this up, and pop this in our fridge to cold proof, and I'll be back to bake this baby up. To bake up this bacon, egg, and cheese sourdough loaf. Y'all don't understand how heavy this loaf is. When I just took it out of the refrigerator from cold proofing, I was shocked. This was cold proofing in my fridge for 24 hours. Now it's time to get it on some parchment paper, lightly flour our surface or the parchment paper with our handy dandy baby sifter, and very carefully plop this baby on there. Yes. I don't think y'all understand how excited I am for this bacon, egg, and cheese loaf. I think this is gonna be delicious for breakfast this morning, and I cannot wait. I'm just going to do a very simple shallow score right down the middle. Nothing fancy, I don't do fancy here. This is huge. I can't wait to see how this bakes up. I am a little nervous because when I did pepperoni, my pepperoni and cheese loaf, it got very dense and it shrunk. So I'm wondering if the fat from the bacon is gonna do that too, and the cheese. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna come out. My bread oven was preheating in a 450-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. This is my Le Creuset bread oven. I get questions on it all the time. I prefer my bread oven or a bread oven over my Le Creuset Dutch oven. I just think they cook up so much better in here, so you'll see me usually using my bread oven. Get this in there. I like to trim the parchment paper now. We're gonna pop the lid back on, and we're gonna bake this for 30 to 35 minutes at 450 degrees. Because this is an inclusion loaf, it might take a little bit longer to cook, so that's why I'm saying 30 to 35 minutes for the first round. We'll be back. It's been 35 minutes, let's go check on this loaf. This is so freaking heavy. Ooh, I can smell the bacon. It smells like a bagel shop in here, or like a breakfast place. Oh my gosh. It smells like a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich. Oh my gosh. It's starting to crack through a little nervous about that. I think the fat from like the bacon and the cheese like made this really, I don't know, wet almost, like fatty, you know what I mean? And it like made it really shallow, and now it's like seeping through. Not sure how I feel about that. It's also looking like this is gonna be a little dense. I can already tell, but that's okay. Trust the process. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. My mouth is watering. All right, I'm going to put the lid back on for this. And I think I'm gonna continue to bake it with the lid on for the rest of the time. So I'm gonna do 15 to 20 more minutes in the oven. It's been 20 minutes. Let's go get this bread out of the oven. I seriously wish that you could smell this right now. It smells so good. Yeah, definitely gonna be a denser loaf. Definitely did not grow with all that cheesy, fatty, bacony goodness, but that's okay. It's still gonna taste freaking delicious. Now, you know the drill. The hardest part, we need to get this on a cooling rack so it can cool for an hour. And since I'm posting this in real time and uploading this immediately, because y'all have been so impatiently waiting for it, you're gonna have to wait the hour too. I have to wait an hour, you have to wait an hour. I totally understand though why we're being impatient. I mean, look at it. This combination sounds delicious. It's gonna be delicious. Let the hour cooling process begin. We'll be back in 1 hour. It's been 1 hour. Let's cut into this bacon, egg, and cheese sourdough loaf of bread. Okay, it might have been 55 minutes. I can't wait any longer. My mouth is watering. I'm hungry. Let's cut into this baby and try it. How I made this and how we got to this step is already posted. Go check it out if you want to make it too. It smells incredible. Let's check out what the inside looks like. Oh, look at all the eggs. Oh my gosh, this is definitely a dense loaf. The cheese is melted in there. You can see like the melted cheese and how it's a little dense and a little moist. Maybe a lot of dense, a lot of moist, but that's okay. That's because of the cheese, the eggs, and the bacon. Oh insane. Insane! My expectations are very high for this. Oh my gosh. I mean, come on. There are so many inclusions in every part, in every bite. Cheers. I'm speechless. This is actually insane. New favorite breakfast unlocked. This is hands down incredible. I don't have the right adjectives. 100 out of 10. I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions like this, so I thought I would make a video sharing what I'm gonna do for this bacon, egg, and cheese sourdough loaf. I have some family coming into town next week, so I'm actually going to take this half that I did not cut into and freeze it right away. It has now come to room temperature. It's not warm anymore, so I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper, take the half that I didn't cut into, roll it up in the parchment paper, the sides over, and stick it into a Ziploc freezer gallon bag. I'm going to freeze this half until next week when we have family in. And now we have breakfast for one morning that they're here. Just take this out in the morning and stick it into an oven, and I'll bake it until the center is nice and warm and toasty. Now for this half that I cut into, I'm going to go ahead and cut it into slices right away. Insane. Actually cutting really easily and not falling apart, which I thought would happen. I have a bunch of slices here that we can have for the rest of the week for breakfast. I'm gonna take some parchment paper and cut it into squares. This is just what I'm gonna do. You might do it differently, that's okay. But what I like to do is I like to sandwich parchment paper in between the slices now so that they don't stick together and just it's easier to grab. And now I'm gonna put it in my Ziploc gallon baggie. And now we can just easily pull from it in the morning. And I will get as much air out and pop it into the refrigerator. I am going to refrigerate this one since there's egg, cheese, and bacon. I'll just pop it into the fridge. And now we can easily just grab a slice out for breakfast in the morning. Can throw it in the toaster. I'll probably do the air fryer though. I don't know how this will hold up going like this way down into the toaster. I think just grabbing it out with the parchment paper, putting it into the air fryer, and letting it lay flat to cook like that will be great. I think this is easy. It's nice and sliced and ready to go. My husband can take a slice for work in the morning and it'll be delicious.